crispy buffalo chicken
sandwich.
And as always, my friends, there is no time to waste. Now let's go! All right, first we are gonna start with one of my favorite condiments ever, and that is pickled red onions. Trust me, you want these things in your fridge. Shout out to Rick Bayless for this recipe. We're gonna start by slicing these onions directly in half. Take off these little bottoms. Here, we're just gonna make a little V cut, like so. Peel. Starting at an angle here, we're gonna slice these onions into a nice julienne type slice. When you get about 3/4 of the way through, you wanna flip it down so it's stable, and repeat that same process until all your onion is nicely sliced. God, this onion sucks. Oh, that was a nasty one. Is it organic or something? What is wrong with this? Now here's a great trick I learned for pickled onions. We're just pouring hot water. It's about 140 degrees Fahrenheit right over these onions. And this is gonna pull out a lot of the harshness and begin to soften them up. So we're gonna leave these in here for 20 minutes before removing that water. Lemons. I don't know how to juggle. Oh, this is how I juggle. This looks impressive, right? Does it look good, Marcus?
It's fine.
It's fine? Lemons, just slice them in half. Usually I would use limes for this, for sort of Mexican pickled onions, but I just have a bag of lemons in the fridge, so I'm gonna use lemons. Just use what you have when you're cooking. You don't need to get too crazy about the ingredients, right? Well, for some things. And we're gonna juice our lemons one by one. I'm just adding some salt into my lemon juice. It's not gonna totally dissolve, but it will start to, and that will help out the process. Lemon juice goes straight over the red onions. And then I'm topping off with red wine vinegar, just so the onions are covered. And also we're gonna get a nice color from this. Quick little massage with the hands, just to make sure everything's happy in here. And push down to submerge all the onions under the liquid. I'll just put a couple heavy bowls or plates on here, just to make sure that those onions are staying submerged. Now, this is a little bit stupid, but hey, I don't have the right size side plates to fit. We're gonna cover this up and we're gonna let it sit for at least 2 to 3 hours. But if you do this the day before, they are absolutely incredible. As you can see here on the screen right now, this is the next day and the color and everything is just really popping. And into the fridge they go. This is the fridge that doesn't get any dents, okay? This one is safe for now. Spilled it everywhere. I spilled it everywhere. The next thing we're making is a blue cheese mayo. It's not quite like a dressing. It needs to be thick so it will sit well on this burger. And now we need to find out if I can flip this without it spilling. Marcus, what do you think? You think it's gonna be all right?
No. Ooh! Oh!
First step, crumble the blue cheese into the mayo. Usually I would use a blender or food processor to make this really smooth, but I know not everybody has one, so I'm just gonna try to do this all by hand. If it's a little chunky, that's really okay. I'll mix this in, and I'm really pushing on the blue cheese to try to smash it against the bottom of the bowl. Work this for a minute or two until it's nice and pasty. Lemon juice and some Worcestershire sauce. Straight in, mix that in, which is also gonna loosen up the sauce here a little more, which is what we want because it was a little too thick. This is looking almost perfect. Just needs one more thing, and that is to add some chives. And one great trick I found for chives is, check this out. Damp paper towel, you wanna fold it up, lay it out flat. Now take the chives and just roll them firmly, not too tight, not too loose, just like this. It's gonna hold them all together, and then we'll start at the top here and just begin slicing these, and it really just helps keep everything stable. I don't know about you, but chives are one of my favorite herbs ever. Yes, I say herbs, okay? I was born in the UK, and that's the one thing that stuck with me. That, and I still like beans on toast. Nothing wrong with that. Chives go into our blue cheese mayo, and as this sits in the fridge, it will continue to thicken up, but it does not need to be any thicker than this. This is actually perfect. Spoon flip to taste. It's actually very good, and I can see how it's gonna work beautifully with the chicken. Start by putting on your creepy gloves. I don't know why, but when I put on plastic gloves, I feel like I'm about to do something illegal, something I shouldn't be doing. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm ready to do a B&E. I'm ready to do something. For the purpose of this test, we are gonna be pitting chicken breasts against chicken thighs to see which one reigns supreme. As you can see, these chicken thighs have quite a bit of fat on them, so I wanna trim some of that off. Lately, when I've been getting chicken thighs from the store, it looks like they were butchered by a weed whacker. Like, what is going on? What are you, and where did you come from? I will save and cook these little bits of meat, but I don't want them for the sandwich. And what we want here is one even piece so it fries up nicely. Here are my pre-pounded pieces of the thighs, and by the time I pound these, they should be a nice size to fit my bun. With the breasts here, you got a thick end and a thin end. The thin end should make one nice sandwich. All we need to do is slice these directly in half, like so. And these are our pre-pounded pieces of the breast. Take a little plastic wrap here. You could also do this in a gallon Ziploc if you want, but I like plastic wrap more because I don't like wasting those bags just for pounding things. Re-creepy myself. That's creepy, right?
Yeah,
well, oh, let me try a new face. Hold on, watch this. This is gonna.
All right, dude, the gloves, not the creepy part.
Yeah. Thighs are going up here, breasts are going down here, and we are going to pound them out. More plastic wrap on top, and we always do 2 layers so we don't get any splatter. Just take a rolling pin, 4th try. I know, because people are gonna ask, 4th try. Start pounding out your thighs and breasts. Just a little tap, tap, taparoo. Don't hit it too hard, you're gonna break your chicken. It's all in the hips.
Yeah, get it, sonny.
Also, the good news about this plastic wrap is you can flip the whole thing over easily and just start pounding the other side, just like you would do with a Ziploc bag. And when you're pounding your chicken, you can give the thighs a little more oomph. The breasts are more tender, so they're gonna require less force. So the chicken is about 1/3 of an inch thick right now, and it may seem a little bit small to you, but once it gets all the breading and coating and frying, it's gonna look much, much bigger. Let's choose our spices, my friends. And you can go kind of freestyle with this. I will tell you what I'm using, but just have fun with it, right? I'm gonna choose a little bit of chili powder, which I made myself from Arbol chilies, a little bit of Kashmiri chili powder, amazing color, beautiful as well. Next, America's favorite salt, rhymes with meow, please. Lowry's, meow, please. A little bit of smoked paprika, that needs to go in here. And then of course, a little bit of salt and pepper as always. First salt, so it sticks to the chicken really well. Don't need to go too crazy. And my good little friend with his fuzzy mustache, Sergeant Gilbert, reporting for duty! Straight on with the pepper. My friends, I have a master plan that is gonna make the crispiest chicken ever that can hold up to a sauce. Stick with me for a minute and you'll see. A little bit of that chili powder going down. Now the Kashmiri chili powder, just a tiny bit of that seasoned salt. We already have salt, so just a little bit. My little secret is I'm only using it because I know it has it. And last but certainly not least, smoked paprika. No more gloves, I'm just gonna tap it in a little bit. It smells so good. We're gonna flip all this chicken over and do the exact same thing on the other side.
He does wash his hands.
I always wash my hands. Well, why would I film it? Always do it. Look up all the way up. I get all the way up.
He does armpits sometimes.
Armpits, everything. Here is my master plan. My master plan for the crispiest fried chicken that can hold up to a wet sauce and still retain its absolute maximum crunch is cornstarch and panko. I'm gonna show you how to do it right now. First, dump some of your cornstarch into a bowl, and now I'm adding ice cold water to make a cornstarch slurry. And you don't need any more spices or seasoning. There's so much on the chicken. We just wanna make a batter, a sludge, a slurry, an what's it called? Oobleck or something like that. So before I mix in the rest of the water, I just wanna show you what happens when you mix cornstarch and water. I think this is something they teach people in grade school. Wait for it, look at this. If you keep moving it, it's gonna stay in a ball form. Now watch, when you stop, it's gonna immediately turn back into a liquid. It's crazy stuff, and it's a lot of fun. If you've never done it, do it with your kids. Do it if you're an adult, I don't care, act like a kid, it's fun. I did just make a whole video on testing these kind of starches for chicken, so I will give you a recipe for this. Before you dip your chicken into here, always give it another little stir because it separates really quickly. And I'm gonna first start with the thigh, and we're gonna dip it in, and we're gonna let it drip just for a moment, and then boom, straight into the panko. Take my dry hand here, and I'm just gonna tap in that panko coating. Make sure it's in there nicely. This Japanese panko plus cornstarch batter is a recipe for absolute crispy heaven. I cooked all my little chicken scraps here just in a little bit of simmering water for about 30 minutes. I might eat some of them, but most of them I've made for my dog, Ollie. Ollie! Listen to my commands. Ollie, come. That's never once worked in my entire life. Pan down here, medium-high heat. We're gonna shallow fry these as opposed to deep frying, just so we don't have to use all that oil. There's about a cup of oil in here, and once we put the chicken, it will raise up even more. I'm gonna let the oil heat up until it hits about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, starting first with our thighs. Looks like we sort of ended up deep frying here, my friends. You could definitely get away with doing a little less oil. It's all right, I will strain this out afterwards through a chinois fine mesh strainer and reuse it. Oh boy, this is gonna be crispy. After 2.5 minutes, we're gonna flip these. Another 3 minutes on the other side, and we're gonna let these rest. It may not seem like a long cook time, but these thighs were incredibly thin. And as you can hear, we are crispy, crunchy. Going in now with the breasts. 2.5, 3 minutes for the breast, and we'll just let them rest here for a few minutes while we make the Frank's sauce. For the buffalo sauce, we're starting with a little oil and some garlic. After about 45 seconds, our garlic is lightly brown. We're gonna add Frank's. There is just no substitute for Frank's. Once that Frank's is hot, we're just adding a little bit of honey. This is the easiest sauce in the world to make. Just turn the heat down to low, and we'll start working in cubes of cold unsalted butter. That's gonna cut through all the acidity of this Frank's and give us a desirable sauce here. What we're doing is using French techniques for American food. I think that's pretty cool. Once that first batch of butter is worked in, we just add more. If you do it little by little, it just emulsifies better into the sauce. And just constantly whisk Once the last batch of butter is worked in, I'm just gonna turn the heat off and your sauce is done. The last thing we need to do is just toast up some brioche buns in butter. And with brioche buns, you wanna go low to medium heat, 2 to 3 minutes to get that nice, beautiful brown crunch. Here's our toasty bun, and our blue cheese dressing is gonna act like the mayo here. We'll get that on both sides of our bun. And we're just gonna absolutely dip our chicken into this hot sauce. Pickles down on the bottom. If you don't like pickles, leave them out. Our amazing chicken breast, we're trying that one first. A little more of our blue cheese on top. We want this nice and saucy. Crispy lettuce here. Any kind of nice crunchy lettuce will do. And then on our top bun here, we're going in with our pickled onions, which are already looking so much better. And we cap it. Okay, here we go with the chicken burger. Let's have a look-see inside. I'm pretty excited. I'm really hungry. Let's try this thing. I gotta have one more bite. All the crunch is retained even though it's been dipped in that wet sauce. The chicken breast version was amazing, but let's try one with the thigh. Here's our chicken thigh burger or sandwich. I know I've been switching back and forth all the time. It's kind of both. I went a little crazy with this one, my friends. It's a double decker. Let's have a look. Here we go with the thigh. An absolute symphony of flavors on your taste bud. It's really fun to eat. Honestly, if I really put my mind to it, I can notice that the thigh is a little bit juicier than the breast. However, this sandwich has so much flavor and so much going on that really you're not gonna notice a big difference between using either of them.
Oh, it's so drippy.
So drippy, dude.
Double stack it. It's so good.
Oh my gosh, look at the hands. Show me the hands. Take another bite. It was
I
insane.
filled my mouth.
Do it. Oh my God, you're a monster. I have one more question for you. I've been calling it burger or sandwich all day, and I don't know which one to choose. So, in the comments, do you consider this a burger or do you consider this a sandwich? Marcus says no. Marcus?
It's a sandwich.
My cameraman, Marcus, he thinks it's a sandwich. It's on a burger bun, right? So it's a burger? I don't know. You let me know. Until next time, you know I love you. I'm out.